Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Conner looking for space. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check your hot read.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. Able to slither by. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Wilson to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is incomplete. A look at the starters down the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
This pass into the arms of Snead. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 35 on second down. Wilson, Snead's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll run it here with Hunt. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Check back. Joker. Hey, switch gears.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he completes it to Hunt. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yards.
Okay.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. A give right side now to Hunt. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. We're scoreless after 1.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Pull it together. Hey, watch it.
From the 17, Wilson. He completes it to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Demir Bird, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So still no touchdowns in the 1st half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. They've allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the counter, it's Connor. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Okay, he didn't break that way, but you got to know that he feels like he's...
Hey, got a 20! Hey, 70!
They'll try to run forward with Connor. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Check the backer. He's coming. Double up. Preload. He's coming. Double up.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Let's go, fellas.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Wilson, and able to find Green. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. On the delay, here's Hunt. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
New York set to take the field. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Now Stafford. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Double count right here, double count. 53's the mark, 53, check 53.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson caught by Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's Williams on the catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And Ty Montgomery has it complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He's got it to Williams. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now we're signaling a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Hunt. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. A gain of 32 that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
Watch the safety creep. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the 1st touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground. And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the 2nd half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He may try and run for this. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it.
Check 99. Check 99. Check 24. Check 24. Switch.
They'll run on first down. Hunt. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
I'm trying to collect. Check 3. Check 3. Shift. Got it.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Alert.
On first down, it's Hunt. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Taron Johnson made the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down, it's Hunt, and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On second down now, it's Hunt. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Play action. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ready? Hey, check 24.
They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Tampa Bay, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out slip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom, and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch.
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50. Extra